The Chitrik Academy is dedicated in loving memory of Rabbi Tzvi Hirsh Chitrik.
Welcome to today's lesson. Today we are going to learn from Tashma over here. The line starts Sha'a until the Tashma at the end of this line, and a sign to remember that is it's at the end of the line. The Tashma is the last two words, the Rosh Tev is at the end of the line, where the red dot is over here. Today we are going to continue in our search as to whether the halacha follows Rava or Abaye, as to whether Yishlei Medas is considered Yuyish or not. Let's see. Tashma, come and learn. Mei Masai, from when Kol Adam Mutarim Beleket. Are all people allowed to collect leket? What leket is, let's see on our board. The Torah commands us that if someone is cutting the wheat in his field and 2 stalks of wheat fall from his hand, he should leave those 2 stalks of wheat for poor people. That is a mitzvah of leket. So after the poor people had their chance to collect the wheat, then anyone is allowed to take the wheat because the wheat is considered hefker, it's ownerless, and anyone could collect it. So the Brisa is saying, from when is everyone else allowed to collect the leftover wheat, which means after the poor people had already collected the wheat. So the Gemara continues and says, Mishayelchu ba hanemushois. From when the nemushois, we'll see what that means. Mishayelchu ba nemushois, from when the nemushois leave. After the time that the nemushois leave, then anyone is allowed to collect whatever wheat is left on the floor. Vamrinan, and the Gemara said, my nemushois. What does it mean, nemushois? Who are the nemushois that once they finish collecting, everyone else can collect? Va'amar Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan says, it's machoikis between Rabbi Yochanan and Reish Lakish. What is nemushois? Rabbi Yochanan says, nemushois are Sabi de Azle Atigra. Older people who walk, the Azle, who walk Atigra with a stick. And therefore, Nemushois comes from the word to touch. Because when the older people go with the stick, they probe, they try to touch with the stick to probe the ground. So when the Nemushois, when the older people, generally the younger people collect, they run ahead and collect the poor people. The younger poor people run ahead and collect whatever's left on the ground. So when the older people who go with sticks, when they finish collecting, then you know that the poor people have already taken what they wanted, and then anyone else is allowed to collect. So let's just make a question mark over here. This Gemara asks, what is nemushois? And it's giving us now 2 answers. The first answer is Rabbi Yochanan. And here we're going to see Reish Lakish is going to give us the second answer. Reish Lakish Amar, Reish Lakish says, Nemushois are lekuti, basar lekuti. These are people who, after everyone collected, after the poor people collected, the poor people went over that field again and collected it, whatever they could. So after they finished, then anyone is allowed to, even if they're not poor, are allowed to go into the field and take whatever wheat is left over. So the machlokes between Rabbi Yochanan and Reish Lakish is, Rabbi Yochanan says nemushois mean feel, the elderly people who feel with their canes. So when they're done collecting the leket, then anyone else is allowed to go collect as well. According to Rabbi Yochanan, nemushois comes from the word removed, that we probably say what everything is removed because people have gone over it again. Most things have been removed already. Whatever the poor people want has been removed. However, whatever is left over, anyone is allowed to collect. And this is the Brisa. Now the Gemara is going to try to prove its point, who the halacha follows, Rava or Abaye. The Gemara asks, V'amai, why are ordinary people who are not poor allowed to collect the leket which is left over in the field. Nihi daniyim dahacha miyayishi. True that the poor people, dahacha of over here, hacha means over here, of this city, miyayishi have given up, because we see that they've already collected what they would like. However, ika aniyim beduchta achrita. Delay miyayishi. Ika aniyim, there are poor people, beduchta achrita, in other places. Delay miyayishi, that maybe they have not given up. And therefore, because there are other people, maybe other people, poor people who have not given up, how do we allow people from the city who are not poor to collect the wheat? Seemingly, this is a proof according to Rava, that even though at the time that the finder finds the item, the owner did not yet give up on it, he's allowed to keep it. Seemingly here as well, poor people from other cities, they didn't even know that there was leket over here. However, we still allow the ordinary people to take it, because later on the poor people from the other city will give up of ever collecting the leket because it is far away and in a different city. So this seems like a raya, a proof. According to Rava, the yish shalei medas is yush. So this is the proof. Let's make a P. This whole brisa was the proof according to Rava. Now the Gemara is going to reject this proof. This is the R for rejection. The rejection starts here. So the Gemara answers, Amri, the reason for this is because Amri, Abaye, or the people hold like Abaye would say, Kivin de'ika aniyim dehacha, because there are poor people in this city, Hanech mikara iyushe miyayish. When you have poor people in two different cities, the ones from the other city originally make up in their mind that whatever's in the other city, they will not take, because there are poor people in that city to claim the wheat or whatever is there. Therefore, it's not Yish Shalei Medas, that they only find out that they give up, they have their miyayish after they find out. Mi'ikara iyushe miyayish. Mi'ikara means originally they always have in their mind that they're not going to collect from this city. And the reason for this is Va'amri ani dahasam laktile, because they say the poor people from that city will collect it. Let's go to our board. When there are two cities, right, let's write this down. There's one city over here and another city over here. So the poor people which are in this city, they always have in their mind that whatever's in this city, let's call this city A and city B. So the poor people from city B always have in mind that whatever is in city A belongs to the poor people of city A. And vice versa, the poor people of city A say that whatever is in city B, whatever is leket or whatever they're entitled to, the poor people of city B get to keep this. So it's not that the leket, which is left over in this city, for example, let's say this is the leket right over here, that these poor people give up on it later on. They originally, it's not Yishlem Adas that they only give up after they find out about it. Originally, they always have in their mind that it belongs to the poor people of city A. And therefore, as soon as the poor people of city A give up of collecting the leket, the other people in the city, and if they're not poor, are allowed to collect it, because these poor people have already given up. So this is not a proof. The Gemara concludes that this is not a proof to Rava's opinion. And this is the end of this lesson.